Welcome back, team, to another edition of the No Job Podcast. I'm Najee Simmons, your host, and we are a community of people who refuse to accept the idea that we have to trade our personalities or our purpose to earn a living, to make money. We reject the 9-to-5 nightmare. We insist on working our dreams for a living. For us, the definition of work is using our energy and time in alignment with our passion to build something that is valuable to us, to contribute to something that we find important. And we're crazy enough to believe that we can make money doing that. We hate having jobs, but we love to work when the work is meaningful to us. We're artists, we're academics, we're athletes, we're entrepreneurs, we're actors and entertainers. We are everything. And it's not so much what we do that unites us, it's why and how we do it that makes us the same. The 9-to-5 grind wasn't made for us, and we weren't made for it. We're all at different stages of our journeys, right? I'm still at my day job while building, learning, working my way out. Some of us are almost there, almost made the transition, right? You're almost at the place where it makes more sense to take your passion project and replace your job or your 9-to-5 when it's time to give up to corporate gig. Some are experienced entrepreneurs with decades in the game, but no matter who we are, we all still have something to learn. We can all still use encouragement and community, and that's why we're here. That's why this podcast and this community exists. Again, I'm Najee Simmons, and this is the No Job Podcast. Okay, so today, guys, I want to talk about having money and about being rich. I did say it that way on purpose. Let me back it up. Let me back it up a little. Let me take it way back to 8th grade. Because when I was in the 8th grade, 50 Cent came out with his first major record called Get Rich or Die Tryin', right? He was an artist before that. People knew him, but this was his first commercial release, and it was huge. It had like 8 or 9 singles playing on the radio at the same time. I mean, he was everywhere. And that ethos, that attitude was everywhere. Get rich or die trying. And I don't know how it affected my thinking exactly, but I do know it influenced me because I listened to those songs a lot, right? So that album and a lot of other things in the culture got people thinking that getting rich is the purpose of life, or really that getting things, and let's face it, in the direct context of that album, also getting women who were considered like things was the point of life. So much so that it made sense to sacrifice or put your very life at risk in your efforts to get rich. Think about it. Get rich or die trying, right? And that album was about 50 putting his life on the line to sell drugs in hopes of getting rich. And since those days, my thinking has changed a lot. It used to be get rich or die trying, but now I think if you're not rich, you're already dying. Stop, okay? Don't run away. It's going to make sense soon. You will be glad that you stayed, I promise. Okay? I have a concept that's going to help you endure the harsh winters of this journey. Because don't get it twisted. The path to no job is a very difficult one. And you can be planting all the right seeds in the right kind of soil, watering them just like you're supposed to, doing all the right things. But dreams, just like flowers, don't flourish and bloom overnight. And it's hard to keep going when you're busting your behind, trying to transform your life, but there's just no fruit on the vine right now. No apparent evidence that this thing is going to work or is working. I think it's really easy to get discouraged in a situation like that, especially when you're looking for the wrong signs, when you're looking for the wrong fruit. When you're looking for the wrong fruit or the wrong sign in the wrong season. I think we get hyper-focused on money. So here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to tell you that money isn't important or that something's wrong with you for wanting it or a lot of it, because let me be completely clear. The The guy you're listening to right now wants to have plenty of money in the bank and lots of assets in his name, okay? Financially, I want to knock it out of the park, bro, okay? Don't get me wrong. But I only want as much money as enhances my riches or my richness, not a penny more. What are you talking about, Naj? Okay, here's what I'm talking about. I measure riches in memories and in present moments and in the hope of a great future. I measure riches in memories, present moments, and the hope and expectation of a great future. I am rich, right? When I look into my daughter's smiling eyes, I'm rich. When I'm laughing from my belly or from my heart, I'm rich. When I know I'm doing right by my wife, I'm rich. When I feel her admiration and her love, I'm rich. When I know I'm doing right by God and I can feel that in my spirit that I'm doing what he sent me here to do, I'm rich. When I use my gifts by doing this podcast that I'm not getting paid for yet, I'm rich. When are you rich? When are you rich? Are you taking the time to be rich? I think I spoke about this last episode. One morning, I woke up early to get some things done for the show, right? And my daughter, my 8-month-old, almost 9-month-old now, she woke up early too, earlier than she usually does. And I was a little tight because now I had to be with her and I felt like she ruined my opportunity to get some stuff done and get ahead. But thankfully, I did slow down and spend the extra time with her. And you know what I ended up thinking to myself? I said to myself, on the road to the riches you want, don't ignore the riches that you already have. Are you ignoring your riches? Are you neglecting your riches because you're only focused on money? I promised I'm going somewhere relevant to the No Job Podcast, guys. Stick with me. This is going to help you. Because when I look at my bank account and I see big numbers, that means that I have a lot of money. And that is good. I celebrate that. I want that for me and for you. But when I'm helping somebody in need, right, by providing them with something I bought them with that money, in those moments, I'm rich. Do you see the difference? The purpose of money is to give us options that will enable us to increase our riches or enhance them. But the money itself doesn't make you rich. This is the No Job Podcast, right? And we're here because we can't stand working jobs. We hate it. Why? Because trading time for money is the poor man's way of life. That's like a triple entendre. You guys should pause and take a moment to think about that. When there's nothing in it for you, when there's nothing for you in what you spend 40 hours or more a week doing, except green pieces of paper, it feels like you're starving to death. That's not life. Not for us. Not for us. A lot of people might say, well, you know, as long as you have food on the table and clothes on your back, you should be happy with that. Don't go for anything more, even if your job is miserable. Even if you have no personal or visceral interconnection to the work you spend so much of your precious time doing. I'm going to say I'm grateful when my fundamental needs are taken care of. But the people who listen to this show want more out of life. And we believe that the work we spend our lives doing should make us rich and pay us money. Both. We believe that's what work is for. So finally, the definition of being rich for us is doing and experiencing what God meant for you to do and experience. It's not about dead presidents. So don't be discouraged. You're developing your craft, right? You're spending hours in the gym, the studio, the library, on the field, going on auditions, going on sales calls, rehearsing lines, drawing, painting, singing, running scales, whatever makes you better at the thing you believe you were born to do, and not getting paid for it. Not yet. Or not yet getting paid enough for it to cover your living expenses. Not yet. You're still at that 9 to 5 because you do need to be for right now, and working on your passion from 5 to 9 after work, or even later than 9, but it doesn't really seem to be bearing any fruit because you haven't blown up yet. Listen, I believe true riches in life comes from living on purpose and in purpose. Earning money is something you have to do. Being rich is what you were born to do. That bears repeating. Earning money is something that you have to do to live, to survive. Being rich, enjoying present moments, having fond memories, and having the hopeful expectation of a great future is what you were born to do. Connecting to people with relationships that only God can give. You were born to do that. Helping others, you were born to do that. All of us here want to work our dreams for a living. And I believe we can, or else I wouldn't be doing this show and you wouldn't be listening. And we are going to reach the place where we provide for our families by doing the kind of work that we'd be happy to do for free. The opposite of a job. But we know it's a process. And I can't tell you how long it'll take before the tree of your dream work or your business is flourishing and bearing enough fruit for you and your family to be able to eat. I can't tell you that. I don't know how long it will be. What I can tell you is this. Your dream, your passion, remember why God gave it to you. It's not just to earn a few dollars, even though we are going to be able to do that. It's so that you can be rich, so that you can live on purpose and in purpose, even while you wait for the money to come. If you're working your passion and your gift, even if it's not at a scale where you're able to leave your job yet, you are rich. Come on, y'all. This is the No Job Podcast. All right, guys, as we close out today, as we close out Get Rich or Die Tryin', I just want to thank you for all of your support. There have been a lot of you, and I'm going to start shouting you out by name in the coming episodes, who have, commented on social media, commented on YouTube. I appreciate that. Please keep that up. I'm commenting back to absolutely everything because it means so much to me. I appreciate you guys. And I appreciate that you've identified with the message. I want to give a special shout out to two very important friends. That's Marv and Mandy. You may know Marv as Marvelous Photos. He is the producer of this podcast. This audio you're listening to, this video you're watching if you're on YouTube, would not be possible without him. Follow at Marvelous Photos. He and his wife, Amanda, have a dope podcast called Read Between the Lyrics. Follow their Instagram, Read Between the Lyrics, spelled just like it sounds. They break down the words of songs and sort of do a deep dive into the mind of the creators, and they give you a different perspective on the things you listen to and might not take the time to actually hear. They just had their season finale. They did 8 dope episodes. Follow them on YouTube, Instagram, Read Between the Lyrics. You won't regret it. With that, I just want to say again, thank you, family, and I'll see you next time. This is the No Job Podcast. Everybody has to earn a living, but nobody has to have a job. Peace.